In the past, we've talked about the trust cycle here on Blank Screen, but today we're going to talk about the stress cycle. There are 4 phases of the stress cycle with off-ramps or back eddies off of each, and I believe that people who are successful can effectively re-engage these 4 components with balance to create a positive feedback loop of stressors. So let's start at the top. You're ready to take on a stressor. What do? We take action. This means that we find a stress. Now, excess stressors often develop into distress, negative feedback loops that present as mental health issues or cause us to pursue coping mechanisms like numbing or avoidance. Unfortunately, if we get caught here in this feedback loop, we end up stressing about the distress and get caught up in a cycle of inescapable, iterating stressors and stress responses. But if we find a stressor that's a positive stressor, it becomes a eustress, which causes a healthy strain on our body or mind. Following the strain, we become sore and tired. And if we are continually strained in excess, we end up in burnout. And burnout is one of the most popular phrases in any industry today, but specifically healthcare. And the burnout cycle is continually repairing just enough to take on additional strain, becoming more sore, more tired in excess, and getting caught in that burnout feedback loop. Now, if we move through this sore and tired effect from the strain, we take on a phase of rest and recovery, and this is what many people fail to do. They do not move into the rest and recovery phase effectively. If we move through the rest and recovery phase and repair in excess, it leads to laziness. This is that sloth, that getting caught up. I think this is what a lot of people fear when they accidentally get caught up in the burnout feedback loop, is rest and recovery will lead to this feedback loop of laziness, and that's really not the case. Because when we move through that repair phase, we end up right back where we started, ready to take on another stressor. And as I mentioned, successful people will go out and pursue the next stress. If you don't, you're ready to take on another stressor but continually take no action, you end up in a cycle of complacency. So whether it's complacency, mental health and coping mechanisms, burnout, or just pure laziness, there are traps at every stage of the stress cycle. But as I mentioned, the most successful people find a way to become ready, take on a stressor, cause the strain, rest and recover, and get back to being ready. And this constant feedback loop of positivity and eustress gives us that feeling of accomplishment that we love so much as human beings. So go engage in the positive feedback loop of the stress cycle, and make sure to watch out for the off-ramps and back eddies that can trap us. As always, thank you for watching Blank Screen. We love having you along.